What's going on, guys? It's DG back with another video. Going to be giving y'all a quick review and detailed close look at the brand new Way of Wade 11 in the Blossom colorway. So let's get right into it. So if you watched my original review on the WoW 11 for this colorway, the launch colorway right here, then you would know my number one call out was that my true to size in the WoW 11 was just way too tight. It did make my feet go numb. So for the Blossom colorway, I did get a half size up. Let's start out with the fit. The fit going a half size up as a wide and flat footer fit me so much better, and I had a much better playing experience. So I definitely confirmed the fact that if you have wide or flat feet, or just wide feet, more so the wide feet part, then definitely go a half size up. One thing about the fit, and I guess moving on to the aesthetics portion, is that this shoe just looks big. If you ever get a WoW 11 in hand, then you would understand what I'm talking about, because this is my true to size, this is a half size up, right? In the WoW 11 specifically. And you guys can see that it is like a very big looking shoe in hand. Just as a quick comparison, I do have the Kobe 9 Pro Trail right here. I don't know if you guys can see the size difference or how well this kind of comes out on camera, but in person it is kind of crazy. Like, look at the size difference between the WoW 11 and the Kobe 9 Pro Trail in the same exact size. It is a little bit jarring. The reason why I point that out is because honestly, aesthetically, I don't really like that. I don't like how big and bulbous they look on feet. And even going a half size up, like I said, is a much better experience. I honestly didn't feel that much pain, especially after breaking it in. I'm definitely going to stick to my half size up. They feel a lot, better than the true to size, but overall they just look big. For the traction, you have a GCU type of outsole, which is their new technology named ground control unit. The traction pattern itself, you guys can see, is a storytelling pattern, so you actually have D-Wade's face on the bottom. This has a really good bite on clean, very semi-clean courts. On dust, I would definitely recommend that you still have to wipe. This launch colorway had more of a translucent pattern, and I felt like this one performed a lot better on the same courts. I'm not sure if it's due to the more translucent like rubber compounds, but this one right here, I did find myself wiping a little bit more. And the reason why I mention that is because it has more of a solid hue to it, like a solid rubber to it. That's my personal experience between the two colorways, is that this one performed a little bit more consistent on the same court. This one was, I think on the court that I played on was pretty dusty that day. Not gonna lie, everyone was slipping. But this one after wiping was still really good. So that's my one nuance that I want to call out about these two colorways. But overall, the Blossom colorway still had a really good traction, and obviously I played in these a couple of times last week, so I still really like it and will continue to play in these. Last thing about the traction is that I wouldn't bring these outdoors. The GCU technology is great, especially indoors, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend bringing them outdoors for the durability aspect. Tough rubber, number one, is a lot better in terms of outdoor use. Tough rubber is their technology for more durable traction patterns outdoors for Way of Wade. And then I did play in these a couple of times indoors, as you guys can see, and the toe box is already fraying. For the cushion setup, you have full length boom in the WoW 11. It feels a little bit different than the WoW 10 in the fact that the WoW 11, you can definitely feel the boom all throughout the shoe, whereas the WoW 10 felt like you were just propelled into bounce a little bit. This feels, I want to say, a little bit flatter, but definitely a lot more density in the cushion, I feel like. So when you put these on, you're definitely going to feel the boom immediately. You're going to feel it right there. So with that said, if you need a lot of court feel and you need to feel the floor, this may not be the shoe for you. But if you need a lot of impact protection, overall plushness and cushion, and obviously, the boom is very responsive to your first step and stuff like that, then this may be the shoe for you. It also costs $225 plus shipping plus tax, which is around $250 USD at least. So you're definitely going to be getting a really good tech setup in terms of the cushion. The support of the shoe is definitely one of the best things about the WoW 11, guys. So right off the bat, you guys can see this logo, the plastic in the back that acts as an external heel counter. So you're going to feel locked into the shoe. It also has full length carbon fiber. And then lastly, the base is super wide. This shoe is super wide. Even if you try to roll your ankle over, it really prevents you from doing that. The only way you're going to roll your ankle over in these is if you get stopped by the traction, if the traction is too good, and most of all, if you step on someone's foot, because at that point, I don't think any shoe will really help you that much. But this shoe is very supportive in my opinion, so that's one of the best things about it in my personal opinion. They also changed the materials for the Blossom colorway. You guys can see this type of material right here versus the leather. I do like this type of material more. It's less invasive on my foot, especially when you're bending it. and it does feel more breathable. In terms of the weight, these do feel pretty light, despite the fact that they look huge, they look big, and despite the fact that it has full-length carbon fiber and everything, like, this shoe does feel light, especially in hand and especially on foot. So that's one of my favorite things about the WOW 11 is that they maintained the lightweightness despite, you know, how kind of big it looks. In terms of aesthetics overall, I do like these better than the WOW 10, guys. I've said this from the jump when they first leaked, okay? So I incorporated the back logo, like the WOW logo, really well. I actually really like this design. The only thing that I don't like about the looks is the fact that they just look big as a shoe, and the WOW 10 did not. The WOW 10 looks so seamless on your foot. These just, as you go up in size, they just massively grow larger. I don't understand why, because on the inside, they feel tight still. But on the outside, they just look like they're one size bigger than what they actually are. Another reason why I like the look, guys, is because I like mid-top type of designs, and the original WOW 10 is like that as well, so that's why I like the WOW 10 a lot. So I do kind of like how it goes up on your ankle, even though this does play like a low top. Another thing I want to mention about this shoe is that I don't really like the ankle portion too much. I feel like you really need to break it in, because at first it does feel stiff around the ankle portion. You guys can see that they're trying to mimic like a sock design, but it does feel still pretty rigid. So honestly, I don't really like the sock design because it does start out really rigid, but after you break it in, it's fine. But that's just one thing I don't really like. So overall, that's my quick little review on the WOW 11 Blossom, guys. This is a shoe that I will continue to play in because it has really good traction, especially after you wipe. If you're on like the worst court ever, then I still think you need to wipe. Again, I would not necessarily bring these outdoors unless that's your only option. The other thing about this shoe is the cushion. It is so forgiving on your body, and it is very bouncy as well, as you can expect from a Way of Wade shoe. So I really do like that aspect. It is also very supportive. I feel like I can just lace these up and go, especially in my half size up. So I do really like this shoe. There are some downsides like I've talked about in this video, but overall, you know, for the very expensive price tag, I still like it. In terms of the WOW 10 versus WOW 11 and which one that I kind of, you know, lean towards a little bit more, I would say I still like the WOW 10 slightly better. And the reason for that is because the WOW 10 is more of a streamlined type of shoe. If you have both in hand, if you have both on feet, I feel like the WOW 10 like kind of propels me into my next step. They're much more streamlined on my feet. They kind of fit more like a sock in my opinion. And these are just a little bit more bulbous. They're a little bit just larger. The WOW 10 also is better outdoors in my personal opinion, although you can still take any shoe outdoors. I just think the WOW 10 is better. I also still feel like the WOW 10 is a little bit slightly more bouncy than the WOW 11. The WOW 10 just kind of, I don't know how to explain it that well, but it propels you. It, like when you run, you really feel that boom activated. But overall, I still like the WOW 11 a lot. It's definitely, in terms of tech, in terms of the overall package, it is up there. For those reasons, I will slightly choose and lean towards the WOW 10. So let me know what you guys think of the Blossom colorway in the Way of Wade 11. And this Blossom colorway, guys, is very nice. It is very nice. I just wish that they kept the outsole pink. I'm not sure why they just, you know, kept it white. I guess it does look clean, but overall, I wish it was more monochromatic. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, especially if you made it this far, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.